Hi everyone, my name is Nick Giacomo, and for my reflection, I've chosen Wake Up Call's The 13 Owl Song by Cosmo Sheldrake. First, a little background on owls. Owls live in a variety of habitats, including coniferous forests, mountains, deserts, plains, and the Arctic tundra. For the purposes of this presentation, I will use barn owls as an example, due to the wide range of habitats and the fact that barn owls are some of the best studied owl species on the planet. Habitats that barn owls are commonly found in include grasslands, deserts, marshes, and the boreal forest, which is common across North America. The ecological concept I will discuss today is trophic cascades. Trophic cascades are an ecological phenomenon triggered by the addition or removal of top predators and involving reciprocal changes in the relative populations of predator and prey through a food chain, which often results in dramatic changes in the ecosystem, both structurally and in regards to nutrient cycling. An organism's trophic level refers to its position in the food web. Trophic cascades typically include the first level, or the first trophic level, which would be the primary producers. Following that is the second trophic level, which consists of primary consumers, or herbivores. After that is the third trophic level, which is secondary consumers, or carnivores, and then usually a fourth trophic level, in which case carnivores feed on other carnivores. With respect to the barn owl, the trophic level it would be located on would be the third trophic level, making it a secondary consumer and a carnivore. On the topic of diet, it is important to understand the food supply of barn owls. Barn owls feed on rats and mice, as well as shrews, bats, and rabbits. These animals would be primary consumers, located on the second trophic level, which makes them herbivores. Because of the nature of the orientation of barn owls to their prey, we must consider the limitations of energy transfer, and specifically, trophic level transfer efficiency. This leads us to the process that I've chosen to focus on, which is energy transfer. In relation to trophic cascades, energy transfer refers to the passing of energy from one trophic level to the next. Generally, the percentage of energy that is successfully transferred from one level to the next ranges from about 5 to 20%. For argument's sake, we can assume that after consuming its prey, roughly 10% of the energy available from the flesh of the barn owl's dinner has been transferred. As well, in lecture we learned that generally it's acceptable that 10% of the energy transfers from one trophic level to the next. A transfer of only 10% of the energy consumed from the previous meal is fairly low, and it's worth questioning why such little energy transfers from one trophic level to the next. In lecture, we learned that it's low for two reasons. The first reason is that organisms cannot digest all of their prey. In the case of barn owls, it's known that they swallow their prey whole and spit it back out rather than digesting it through their body. To be more specific, they spit out the remnants of the carcass, being the bones, the hair, and some of the skin. However, within the bones that they spit out in the form of pellets lies an abundance of energy that has been absorbed by the animal. As well, we know that much of the energy assimilated by animals is used in maintenance. Therefore, most of the energy consumed is lost from the system in the form of heat. As well, the fact that such little percentages of energy are transferred from one trophic level to the next means that there is a limit to the amount of trophic levels that can actually exist in nature. Typically, there are only 3 to 5 trophic levels considered in the majority of Earth's ecosystem. As well as energy transfer, the relationship between one trophic level and the next needs to be considered. The farther up the cascade we go, the higher the predator's rank, or the apex of the predator. Because apex predators usually have no natural predators or natural enemies, they are rarely consumed by other animals, so they reside in the upper trophic levels. Interactions that have to be considered between the barn owl and its prey include biotic interactions. The biotic interaction I will be discussing is top-down control. We learned that top-down control refers to when a top predator controls the structure or population dynamics of the ecosystem. The interactions between the top predators and prey is what influences lower trophic levels. Changes to the top level of the trophic level can have an inverse effect on the lower trophic level. Because owls are predatory birds, feeding on mice, other small rodents, and sometimes rabbits, because these animals feed on the primary producers, grasses, grains, other vegetation, it's likely that the consumption of these animals on the part of the barn owl would have a dramatic effect on the surrounding ecosystem. A reduction in primary consumer population means that the primary producers would have greater ability to grow. If barn owls aren't successful in their hunt, and primary consumers are allowed to regenerate and produce more offspring than the surrounding environment can handle, you would likely see a dramatic decrease in surrounding vegetation. This can again be linked to the fact that the barn owls are not eating the primary consumers. Because the influence that barn owls have on their ecosystem, they could be considered a keystone species. With regards to why I chose the 13 Owl Song by Cosmo Sheldrake, I chose it because of the inherent spooky vibe that comes with the song. From listening to it a number of times, I believe it's in the key of F minor. And because it's a minor key, it's relatively spooky. Connecting that to the fact that owls are nocturnal and hunt at night, it felt pretty obvious to me to speak about trophic cascades, consumption of prey, and subsequent energy transfer, as well as the fact that barn owls are apex predators, making them excellent hunters and very cool animals to research and learn about. As well, they are native to North America. Well, not just North America, but they are found in North America and absolutely found in Nova Scotia. So for all these reasons, I thought it was acceptable or appropriate to speak on barn owls and trophic cascades. As well, implementing the Mi'kmaq two-eyed seeing method, in which indigenous knowledge is complemented with Western knowledge to provide a more thorough understanding, would prove beneficial when considering the barn owl and its relation to its surrounding ecosystem.